Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Remember, if you're thinking of launching your own podcast, remember that I'm speaking at a virtual summit about this very subject. So sign up for my free session at the Life by Design, Not by Default virtual summit and support your podcast host. I'm just going to be talking about how any business or anyone listening can actually create a podcast or launch their own podcast and not stress about the time constraints and the tech and the learning curves that come with it. And I think it kicks off on September the 12th, and I'm on September the 13th. But I'll include the links to that on the show notes. But on with today's show. And man, do I have a treat for you today. Betsy McHugh is coming back on the podcast today from Hurdl, who I last spoke to, I think it was on episode 248. And for those of you that missed our previous conversation or heard it and have slept since and can't remember, Betsy lived and breathed the live music scene, having worked with John Mayer, Bon Jovi, as well as in management roles for artists including Keith Urban and Hunter Hayes. So as the founder and CEO of Hurdl Enterprises, Betsy is pioneering the de-anonymisation of persons actually in event venues with a new kind of entertainment experience. So I invited her back on the show today to learn how this wearable technology is actually bridging the gap between artists and the audience while being both accessible and affordable. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to Nashville, Tennessee, so we can speak with friend of the show, Betsy McHugh. So a massive warm welcome back to the show, Betsy. We last spoke on episode 248 back in April 2017. Hey, where's the time gone?
Oh my goodness. Thanks for having me back. And it's good to still be around too.
So for anyone that did miss our previous conversation, can you just tell them a little about what you do and how Hurdl is actually transforming live events?
Yeah, I mean, well, what we do is I really have a belief that everybody likes to be said thank you to, but personally, right? So what we do is we connect artists and teams with the people in the audience by making them part of the experience. So we turn everybody in the audience into a pixel of light by giving them an LED wearable that they activate, and now the artists and teams can have a conversation with them by text without having to download an app, which is the great part.
Wow, yeah, at last we can get rid of the apps, because who wants another app in their life that you delete as soon as you leave the venue, right?
That's right, that's exactly right. And you know, that was a big part of the technology that we went out to build, is that, you know, getting people to download an app is just another ask, right? We wanted to make it as mindless and seamless and easy for them to just join in a conversation with the artist or team without having to take a whole bunch of extra steps.
Now, when we last spoke, you had graduated from Techstars and you had this pixel-led LED wearable device that was enabling bands to actually communicate directly with their fans at concerts, which is incredibly cool on itself. But, I mean, can you bring listeners up to speed with what's happened since we last spoke?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've done 87 events so far. So probably that's 77 more than last time we spoke. And it's been amazing. I mean, what I'm really seeing is that it's having an impact. It's not a light thing, this experience generation, this idea that people really want to be part of a communal experience. They want to be included, they want to be thought of, they want to be remembered. And that's really the power. Somebody said to me recently, you know, some of the best ideas are really simple, which is make people part of the experience, let them have a great time, but also talk to them and thank them, and now we can continue to have a conversation with them. And so it's been really fascinating to kind of see what can happen once you connect people, right? So we've helped artists and bands increase their merchandise sales. We did a campaign recently where an artist on Atlantic Records had a new merch line coming out. And so we had just completed their tour. They now had the ability to talk to all those people that actually came to the tour. And they were able to send a text message out to everybody and say, hey, we have a new merch line. Do you want to buy? And I couldn't believe we did 99.4% click-through.